Imagine you're living in a city with millions of people, a city built on ground that could, at any moment, just give way. Well, last Friday, the city of Dhaka got a violent reminder of that very reality. And it leaves all of us with a pretty terrifying question. Was that tremor just a little shake, or was it a final warning before something much, much worse?
So before we even dig into what happened on Friday, you gotta understand the bigger picture here. This isn't just a story about one earthquake. No, it's about a city of millions, literally living on a knife's edge. It's a metropolis that has grown so unbelievably fast that many of its buildings, especially in the older, super densely packed areas, were just never built to handle a major shock.
Okay, take a look at this graphic from Dhaka Post. It really lays out the staggering scale of the risk. It says Bangladesh is at risk of a 9-magnitude earthquake. And the potential consequence? Half of Dhaka's buildings could collapse. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. Half the entire city.
And look, this isn't some distant, abstract prediction, some what-if scenario, because the danger is right here, right now. Last Friday, that theoretical risk became a terrifying, tangible reality for millions of people.
All right, so let's break down exactly what happened that morning. We're talking the time, the location, and just how powerful this jolt really was. The city was just going about its morning when, at precisely 10:38 a.m., the shaking started.
The Bangladesh Meteorological Department officially clocked the quake at a magnitude of 5.7. Now, to put that into perspective for you, that's technically classified as a moderate earthquake, but trust me, it's more than strong enough to be felt intensely across a huge area.
And the center of all this shaking, it was pinpointed to a place called Madhabdi in the Narsingdi district, which is actually not very far from the capital itself.
Now, it's interesting. There was a tiny little difference in how the event was measured. The local Met Department, they recorded a 5.7, while the US Geological Survey, the USGS, measured it slightly lower at 5.5. A minor difference, really, but both agencies agree on the main takeaway. This was a significant seismic event.
And the immediate result? Well, it was pure panic. All across Dhaka, you had high-rise buildings literally swaying back and forth, sending terrified residents just flooding out of their homes and offices and into the streets. And this thing didn't stop at the city limits. The tremors were felt all across Bangladesh and even as far away as Kolkata in India.
But amid all that widespread shaking and panic, the true heartbreaking tragedy of that morning was concentrated in one specific spot, in Old Dhaka. So this is how it all unfolded. As the quake shook the city, the railing of a 5-story building in the Bongshal area just gave way. It collapsed. And that falling debris tragically struck and killed 3 pedestrians who were just down on the street below.
The headlines, of course, captured the devastating outcome. But the most crucial detail is this. It wasn't the earthquake itself that killed these 3 people. It was a single piece of a single building that failed under the strain.
And police reports just confirmed the cruel randomness of it all. The victims, they said, were simply walking along the road at the time. Just ordinary people, going about their day, in the wrong place at the absolute worst time.
And all of this brings us to the most important question. What does this single, isolated tragedy really tell us about the city's future?
3, that's the number. 3 people lost their lives.
And it's so critical to remember exactly how this happened. Those 3 deaths were caused by just one falling railing during a moderate 5.7 magnitude quake. Not a building collapse, a single railing.
So let's circle all the way back to that terrifying warning from the beginning, that half of Dhaka's buildings are at risk of collapsing in a major quake. After seeing what one single railing can do, that prediction feels alarmingly real now, doesn't it? And so we're left with this one chilling, vital question. If one falling railing in a moderate tremor can be this deadly, what happens when the big one, a magnitude 9.0 quake, finally strikes? What happens when it's not just one railing that fails, but thousands of them, and half the city's buildings start to fall?